No. Hi. Does it look easy, what I do? It's not that easy. I'm not always in the realm. Am I ever in the realm? Or do I just make it all up just when I get stoned? You know what I'm saying? Everything seems to flow so much better. Well, if it flows so much better when you're stoned, why don't we just all get stoned? You know what I'm saying? It's not my world. It's not mine. It's not mine. I have a piece of it. I have to respect you. I have to. I have no choice. It's not my choice anymore. I don't see it as a choice. I must respect everybody, even those who don't respect me. You see, if everybody starts turning around for those that don't respect, after a while we're turning our heads and complaining about everything. And then we're ganging up. Let's start an association. We're all libertarians now. We all know what liberty is about. We want our liberty. But every time a new magazine came out and it showed a nice dress, you went out to buy it. There was a new Sea-Doo. You know what they do with the old Sea-Doos? You know, they don't even produce the parts anymore. They figure they're old. Give them up. Let's knock down the TV antenna where we used to connect. And we used to break into connections because they were cross-wired. Inside the matrix, that was really actually never going to work because the waves were actually too large. Like I know what I'm talking about. I never really know what I'm talking about. I feel it, I sense it, I then see it. I visualize it. I feel it inside. It's almost like it's part of me. It becomes part of me, whatever it is. It's fantastic. What a high. It's being like it's some kind of adrenaline that is created. Anyways, right now we're going to break this down and we're going to go into I'm not even sure where we should start. There were so many things before the egg cracked, before the yolk fell to the floor, and by some coincidence or chance, it remained inside its pocket. How many layers to protect that yellow protein of that egg? This is the world of omega, is it not? Don't you see how it works, omega? Omega is the 15th letter. But if we reduce that, okay, infinite to the 1 position and 10 position, the letter is J and E. And in French it says je. It means I. Now you know who I is of omega. But we will take this one step further. Omega is the 15th letter. Instead of going to 10th letter J and the 5th letter E, let us go the 1st and the 5th letter, which is A and E. Alpha, electronic. Enoch, whatever you want to call it. The E, okay, A and E, the reason it's A and E is because it's a 1-for-1 planet. And what I mean is you are one of 4 suits. Another thing would be corner to corner. If we now create a square by putting 2 triangles together, okay, it's in Monopoly, you will actually have 4 lots to the 1 train track to the 4 lots, to the 1 corner, to the 4 lots of the 1 train track, to the 4 lots of the 1 corner, of the 4 lots of the 1 train track, to the 4 lots of go to jail. Go to jail is a place you never sit there. When you hit Monopoly number 30, you're never on go to jail. The minute you hit it, you're automatically, okay, down a black hole of some sort and shoved into this world. It's the number of creation, 24 and 6. That makes the extra 30 hours we have at the end of the year, 1.25 days. That's exactly where it comes from. Not maybe, but 100%. One day you will see that that is what they will speak about, because I only tell you what I 100% believe sometimes. This, although, is a hypothesis. And if it goes in the books, it goes in a high-ranking hypothesis. Because until the answer is known by all, my answer is no more a stepping stool than anything else I've ever done in this world, other than my son, who has stepped up so high I have to look up to him. What's up, bud? But he does not partake in my game, for my fame, for my insanity, for his me. So now what we're going to get to right now, okay, is we were talking about alpha omega, 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. Okay, forget about that. Just A and E together, when you add them, it equals 6. Okay, that's where you get the 6 from. The 24 is the X-man, the X-planet. It's the 24th letter. If you want, you can go into the Greek letter, the 24th letter. Would it not be omega? Okay, 24th letter, omega, in Greek. In the 24th in the English, it's X. But then the Romans say it's a Roman numeral and it's 10. So 10 means who man is. Man's coming to earth is 10. His birth is 9, his spirit is 1, he is 10. But that is a life spirit, okay? That is the red spirit. But he needs the 2 spirit for this world. So he's born as 9, he lives at 11. But once he moves out from the gates and he's flipped upside down through the mother's gate of his birth, his nose twinkles on the G point. They cut the umbilical cord and now he's a 6 into this life. But he gains nothing until a further age. I'm not quite sure of the age yet. Still arguing with myself. Omega is the man, my friends. He came in before time. And that's why when we come into this world 1 for 1, we end up with A and I. And the totality of that is 10. From one corner to the next corner. 10, 10, 10, 10. It is 10, 10, 10, 10, okay, but the worlds can only be done, which ways do I go back? One of the worlds can be done is like this, 3, 3, 3, or 3, 3, 3. It's like doing this 3, 3, 3, or showing you this, 3, 3, 3, 3. This is all of it together. 3, if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see a little closer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 24 hours in the day, plus the 6 that I told you for A and E equals F. And in between A is C, and that says face. But in between E and I, 5 and 9, E-I-E-I-O, is G. So G is 7, 5, and GI is 7, 9. They are both the same. G is to the center of both of them. So the minute you touch G, you automatically, whatever's on the opposite sides, connect. It's like the roulette table, the way the numbers are set up. There's more to it than, I mean, I know everybody just goes and sees these numbers, and there's so much more to it. Even in Monopoly, there's so much more. Where they put the chance lot, where they put the community chest lot, where they put the income tax, the amount of income tax, the amount you get for pass go 200. You land on it, you get 400, which is actually 2 omega eggs of delta, which is I and I. Okay, delta's 2 I's. Okay, where is delta's 2 I's? Well, one is the jack of spades. He's got 1 eye. And one is the jack of, what is it? I forget the other one. Was it hearts? And I got to look it over here. And there you got your 2 eyes. Don't you know even in the cards, there's only 1 eye on this over here? Don't you think it represents something? Okay? He's not himself. When he turns the other cheek, he becomes somebody else. You see the reflection like this. But these cards, if you take a look, you see the way it says 52? The grinder over here, the organ grinder, it says 25, 52, 52, 25, 55, 22. It all has to do about life. And when the Mayans talk 52 or 5 and 2, why don't you think about 5 days a week and 2 days on the weekend? Or 1 day on the weekend and 1 day on the weekend, 1 for the end, 1 for the beginning, and then you start on 2. The week actually begins on 2 because you can't count the beginning because you don't have a leg to stand on. Only the beginning can count. You know why? It's first. ST means it's perfect. It's not Monday, second, ND. And you know what's funny about ND? Let me see if I can hold this up of what I did today. I did so many little things. ND, first of all, is second. You already know what third is. It's RD. Resident, doctor. DR, doctor, angel, resident. When you say doctor, D and R, the R sound is DAR, the D sound is DE. It's almost like saying, dear, dear. I mean, that's actually what it is. So, yeah, there was a guy that works with me, right? And this is his name, Normand Coursol. And in his name, it actually says no. And then it says man. The two letters that weren't used are R and D. Third, Coursol is his name, okay, which means he who runs the earth. It means no man angel can run the earth. It's telling you in the name that no one of us can run this planet. It is not one of us. It is all of us. It just reached 11:11 on my video. It is not one, it is all, and all, and all, and all can be one if we are an association of totality of humanitarians that live on this planet, and forsaken not the dear not is, don't forget, our animals, forests, and lands. The more you subtract from the earth, the more the planet tells the universe that they're sucking me dry. Come and twist me and turn me upside down so I can produce more oil under the ground. And grind, and I'm getting overheated because they don't let the oil next to the furnace. So the heat, okay, penetrates and dries up underneath our feet, and the land starts to crumble because the oil was not there for us to drive cars, okay? It was the same thing as running your radiator on your car and the oil in the motor to cool down the planet. No, we're burning it up to speed up everything, and it's going to crumble under us as it's already started to crumble under the oceans. Don't forget how we were made. As they said, we were not a 24-hour day, as I told you. Not only did I find out metric time works, but it seems like somehow if the oceans were not here and the streams were here, we'd be down to a day that was actually 15 hours. And I worked on something about that yesterday. And, I mean, we would have 582 15-hour days a year. Isn't that unbelievable? 5 and 2 come together again with 8. You can't have 9. 9 is here in the center. It's what turns everything around. If you look at the 3 blocks of Rubik's Cube, you're supposed to say there's 27 cubes, but there's not. The one that's on the inside are all the gears and the operation of the totality. Anybody can turn cubes around, but what holds it together is so unique. And there's only one of this. And that center, okay, would be the 14th position. No matter which way you turn the cube, it's the 14th position. And the 14th position, okay, happens to be the N pass. 1 and 4 is 5. It also means AD. After distinction, not to be extinct, but distinction of A and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 go together. You do 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, and on the bottom, you do I, H, G, F, and you got 4. Now, in the center, they both get the center, and that passage is the N pass. Now, I'm not sure because the 3 passages are W, E, N. Where do they go? Into the H. W-H-E-N. When? Where? Well, don't you look? It's right here. It's full of black holes. The rabbit hole. Jump on in. Let's go down. Like that snake, those crop circles that they make as a snake, if they're not real, they're right on. Because those are the black holes. Those are the curvy snakes of black holes of going in and out and following the system. The system is not straight. The lines may be straight across this way and that way, but things are not straight. Things might take a sharp turn, jumping on from one strand to another, in which I have not gotten into. But if you really want to get into that, look at music, or just get a spiral graph, basically like that. the way it zigs and zags its way around. It's the way we act is what disturbs everything. This is an electronic planet. We are electronically plugged to this planet as to the matrix, as the planet is to the same matrix, the same system. Because we're human beings, okay, we're an electronic system, we're all sort of built the same way electronically. Don't you breathe the water in the air that connects our... Without the water, okay, without any part of water coming out of us, okay, we would... Our electricity, we wouldn't be able to function because our electrical mind wouldn't be able to function. It's like drying up a bearing. Well, then you'd be fried anyways. So let me see, where else did I get to? I'm going to jump around, okay? Let me do one of my dreams last year, or revelations. I go to sleep at night, I wake up in the middle of the night, and I start drawing things like this. In the first one, I put a 1. In the second box, I put a 1. Okay? In the third box, I put a 3. Because in the first box, row 147, this one is 1. Of the second box, of 258, although this would be 2, but not at this point, because it's just an explanation, this one gets 1 in each box. They don't get anything in the center, because that's where the spindle of time is, my friends. Okay? That area is the egg, my friends. They call that area 5775, the reflection of what the center, and the 135 degrees. That dot to this corner, that dot to this one, 135 degrees, 7, 9, and 5 move together. 1, 3, and 5 create the letters ACE, ace, to create the F face. The 7th gate brings in the 9th birth. But as I said, there's a spindle that's in the center. Now the question is it on row 1, row 2? In this one, it's row 3. And why is this one row 3? Because it took these two, 1 and 1, come together. This one goes to here, inside a pot. This one goes inside a pot. This was A, this was B, the pot is C. Put the pot over here, it's all worth 3. 8 places, 24 hours in the day. If you use this as 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, we end up with 40 hours for the game. If you use this as 1 and 2 for the totality of the beta work, okay, in her world, this would be 2 each. There's 8 around, is 16, it would total 48, okay? 48 is delta 4, and anything to do with 2, 4, 6, it's always doubled, because that is what made it what it is. 4 is 8. 8 is at the bottom. If you really want to look at it the other way, right over here, 4 is down to 8. 2 times 4 makes the 8. 2 plus 4 makes the 6. 2 plus 6 equals the 8. 4 plus 2 equals the 6. So it basically works like that. Now we're going to get to is my dream. My dream was these boxes. And for some reason, it was all about something to do with 940. And I don't know if it was 940 to start or not 470, but 470 and 940, and you know, so what happened is, number 1, Christ is number 74. Okay, that's his straight element between the two worlds, the 7th gate and 4 delta. Okay, 47, T-I-M-E, in a letter count in the English alphabet, a simple count, is 47. The word 8 is 49. I don't care which way it is, the numbers. If they're all there in a pocket of 3, then it doesn't matter in which order they are. We use them all. It's that simple. We use them all. We can break them down also, but we use them all for now. So 8, which means the heaven. So what I did now is I turned it around from 470 and I doubled it. It became 940. So now I said to myself, okay, in order to create the diamond, it takes north, south, 1 and 1 is 2, and then east and west, which totals only a half because they're both on the same line, both on the same equator. One is north, one is south. So we get 2.5. So I multiplied 2.5 by 940, and I got the year 2350. And lo and behold, what does it tell me inside my revelation? That's when Moses was born. So now I've come to learn in the past year and a half, 2 years that this has come about to me. My question goes like this. Do we remove the 100? There's always different numbers to remove because it was in the prior world. 10, 10. 10 times 10 is 100. It's a period of time. Okay. Now at the same time, okay, there are, that would be 2.5 times 940 equals 2350. Okay. Now that, why 2.5? Because 2.5 puts them at the center to join the next side. That's why I say Moses was born there. But if it was 100 years earlier, okay, oh, when this happened, excuse me, let me explain when this happened, excuse me, hold on a second. How do I explain this? The 2.5 is not only that, it can also be looked at as 25, okay, and one of the, it's so complicated, these are worth 2.5 each, okay? These are worth 2.5 each. I'm trying to remember where I was at. So if these were worth 2.5 each, okay, right. If they were worth 2.5, the total of this, okay, would be 225. Now, if I'm working at 2.5 men instead of 2.25 men, that makes a difference of 0.25. 0.25 is equal to one of these squares. My mouse. Yeah, 0.25 is equal to one of these squares. Because like I said, it doesn't matter if it's 25, 2,500, 25 billion. As long as the 25 is in the front, or 52, those are the two first numbers I'm working with. You see, they teach you to learn with the first number from the left and then the first number from the right. And forget about everything else. It doesn't matter. Exact. You want something exact, go ahead and do it for somebody else. But yes, we got to be exact sometimes. We got to be right on, in fact. If we're not right on, how can I explain it to you so you understand? If I'm a little off, you'll never understand. So I must be exact, and I know I'm still not. So anyways, let me continue on with this. Now what happens, we're in the year 2350, okay? Now 940 years more, one more cycle, okay, plus a half. Now we're going to go 1.5 times. First we went 2.5 times 940, now we're going to go 1.5 940. We do that, we end up at the year 3760. And 3760 was when Christ was here. I don't care if it's before 4 years or after 30 years. I know some of the other figures. I've worked with them too. I need to work on what the basic is in the system. Okay? I have to work what most of the people are going to see. Okay? So this is what happens now. So now that everything is done, we must add. Like in soccer, you add. For every 940 years now, you must add 4. The total of the adding will be 18. So the two additions will be Christ's birth, okay, and the actual time difference, 18 years. 9 up, 9 down. They both meet, okay, at the I and J, 9 and 10, G. 3778, which would be 18 AD, and 3760 would be right on the color. But look at the time. Just before they add on the last two, we become 3776. 7 odd numbers, 6 even numbers. 7 bigger cards, 6 lesser cards in the 13 of each suit. 21 of 777, or 3 and 7 are opposite of each other and create one of the 10 worlds. 3 and 6 make 9 together in the 7 of 7 worlds. If we go 3.7.77.7, 6 and 3 is 9 in the 7 and 7 world. I mean, there's so many ways. This is creation of 2 into this side. This is explaining the extended. I'm led to believe that it always shows you 18 up and 18 down, because by doing that, it covers all the letters on the roulette board, all the numbers, and the letter system. It covers up, that's what it has to do. That's why 18 high is where it is. 3 by 6 is 18, 666 is the letter R, angel resident, archangel, whichever you want to say, Raphael, Reish, meaning 200, bicentennial. You know, there's just so many things. Anyways, the next thing is like this. I look at this and call it the cage, right? Well, look what happens. I'm going to show you a new number, 240. The reason is it's our 24-hour day, or a 10-day period, because I told you we're bringing everything to the 10-10 world. This is the world of 7. This is the world of 10. The difference is 15. The 15th letter in the alphabet is O for Omega. 1 and 5, A and E. That means our God, A and E, is everything, because you always go back to it. I mean, there's so many things you can do. The 24th letter in the alphabet is X. The 24th letter in the Greek alphabet is Omega. Again, back to Omega. 2 plus 4 is 6 man. 2 times 4 is 8. By the rabbit hole we jump on in to come into the game and win. Who cares if we cause a sin? We're going out again. We don't know when and we don't give up. But time still rumbles under our feet. As silly as it may think, she rumbles below. I heard the winds yesterday. When things start coming to my ears, where I pay no attention until I actually hear the truth, it's coming. Even the Vulcans, or falcons, or whatever you want to call those birds, they've been flocking to my area more and more and more. Next. What are we on next? So now, this is what I want to do. So I told you 24 hours a day, right? So if you add 3760 plus that 240 that I showed you, there's many ways to do it. This can be part of the time of the day, not 24 hours of the day. Okay, you can look at this a little bit different. Okay, one of the ways to look at this, I'm trying 240 degrees. Okay, 240 degrees. Okay, let me see if I got that right. No, I don't have that. But 240 degrees is 16 hours. Okay, 8 and 8. The first part. Okay, 240 degrees. God plays with the same angles in the same dimensions because they stay there. That's where they are. That clock is there. They will connect, and they are connected, but not in the way we think. We are internally connected to the clock, beneath. Okay, I don't know exactly how the core of the earth is, and to me, the earth is big, but somehow it's almost like somewhere deep below the planet, there is another kind of being that lives like an ant below the surface that is constantly feeding the fire, the fuel, and monitoring the system for anything. And anyways, before I get onto that and jump onto this, that would total 4,000. Okay? That would total 4,000, and everybody's always talking 4,000 years, 400 years, 40 years. So you're only missing this. In the time we're in now in the Jewish calendar, in a couple of years, we'll be in 5775. Now, in 5775, okay, plus one of these valued at 225, okay, that makes a total of 6,000 years. Plus one of these, okay, without anything ever happening, God could never do anything here, and God can never do anything here. Okay? The only time he can do anything on the first row is when he took this and put it here. That was the only time it worked. It only worked when you got to 333. And that 333 is what the Chinese Asian people pray to. It's Buddha, it's the pig. because he's the one somehow uniting the blood, the energy of the internal planet. It's not that there's a pig there, but the system is hooked up to all those little titties, you know? I don't know what the board does besides grunt and piss his stinky stuff all around, okay? But that is somehow the center. Don't forget, if Oriental is number 6 on Monopoly, okay, there must be something to it. You just don't go to Oriental just like that and mention Vermont. Like, what the hell is Vermont? Oriental is something big. Then you go all the way to Vermont, the green pastures of Vermont, to where Oriental is. I don't know if it's high, whatever, but anyways, what did that cost? $160 to buy that one? The one spirit of 6. Is that what it cost? Oh my God. It says everything about it. It says that's what they're there for. All these gimmicks and treasures and the Mayan, all this, my friend, we are the luckiest in the world. It was, for me, call me insane, but it was left for us now. The finals. When the element earth has been drained, when the mind no longer knows, should I be buying the magazine? And why am I buying the magazine? Before you even get into, why am I buying from the magazine? Why am I buying anything at all? What is going to get me high? We all want to get high. We need to find the cheapest way to get high, okay? That we gain mentally. Because the highest high you can get is that of insanity. If I was to make a bet anywhere with anything, my heart is pumping, pulsating, coming out of my body. As I see from the last to the end to the first, and oh my God. And then at the end was no satisfaction because I took a gamble to get it. So that high became a low, and then it became a no-go, and then it was again a low. We should all know how to get a good high. The only way for survival in life is to follow certain angles. Certain angles must be steeper than other angles. Thus, if you're looking to kill somebody, I would ask myself a question: what would God do? Why would God want to kill anybody? Even if he cost the society $500,000 a year to keep him here, you gotta keep him here. You're not allowed to take a life. And then again, God might say, this is an electronic world. They are following my laws, and they can't handle the burden of the expense. Well, he'd be on welfare anyways. You can't kill the guy on welfare. Imagine, here in Quebec, there's 500,000 people, or 10% of the people on welfare. Okay? Let's say there's 2 million working people. It would cost every working person of the 2 million people in Quebec $2,700 or $51.82 a week to pay for the welfare. It costs the people in Quebec right now, for everybody working, if I get this correct, of the 2 million people, I'm not working this on a dollar, I'm just working on a capita, okay, and obviously for ones that are making $15,000 a year are not paying $50 a week, but maybe $2 a week, okay, but we are paying, okay, it will cost $5.7 billion in Quebec, not counting the checks they must send in, and I'm averaging everybody out at $1,000. I don't care if you get 500, it's all 1,000. You got dentists, you got whatever else comes with it. You got to live. These people have to live. They're alive in the society, they didn't make it. Leave them there. What's the difference? 10%. You want to know why? Because the amount of profit made in this province, okay, breaking it down not per company, but how much money, would reduce the cost, okay, would reduce the cost to every person that is working from $51 every single week to no more than $6 if the businesses were added in to pay that effect. So it's really not all that much to keep the people living. The question is, what do we want to do in this province for the future? What is the future of this province? It begins now and today. The question is, by humanitarian rights, can we do this? Well, sure, why not? It's like Walt Disney. The park is not so bad. You can turn it, you can twist it just a bit. Turn it around from something to something different. What must we do in the future, or what is coming? Is something coming that we will not stop? First it is evil. Well, of course, when you go on vacation, you take all your friends, even your bad friends, right? I mean, look at Jesus. He brought Judas into the house. He knew all about it. He knew what was going on. It had to be done. For the word to get passed, it had to be done this way. Okay? On purpose. Man wouldn't wake up. We're still not awake. It took me it took me 40-something years to wake up. And I still don't believe it. It's insanity. It's insanity. No man can have more money than every single man on earth. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. I mean, we need doctors and hospitals and people. We need doctors, hospitals, people on welfare. We need so we need the welfare office associated with the unemployment office, creating jobs. Go create your own job. The question is, do you know what you have? What we should have in the future. Okay, if you can't create your own jobs, sell your idea. It's almost like creating your own job. You don't have the money. Present it to somebody that might think it's good, and they have to sign a contract. And if they end up doing it or selling it themselves, then you make money from them. Sometimes it's not as hard as we think, but the first step is always difficult. You never want to share in who has the first 500. Then obviously, if we let the young fall, okay, if we let the young fall in this province, okay, if we let the young fall, okay, then who will be there in the future? We work on 25-year periods at a time. Every 5 years we must reset. In fact, we must reset every year. But it's actually once every 5 years, because that's the time of passage. Okay, and we have to reset for what's coming in the future. So how much money should these kids get? How much money do we have for the schooling, for the future? And who's teaching? Who gives the right to teach what? So what's coming in the future? How much money would we have a year? You know what? I don't know how much money the kids are looking for, but I found wasted money just hanging out overseas with everybody else, just like the U.S. I find that Canada has an easy, I'm going to put a very small number on this, an easy $5 billion they can save and recover, like spit in the ocean. Like cutting your veins. They can save $5 billion. They can save what they're paying on welfare. Okay? All this crooked shit in one company. Hey, G&E made $14 billion profit and paid no taxes. It's insanity. There shouldn't be any loopholes for this bullshit. If you can't grow any bigger, then you shouldn't get any money from the government. Certain things are just upside down. Anyways, let me get on. So we figured this out. We were at 3,700. Now let me get back to the 240. At 240 degrees or 240 hours, 10 days. 6, 1, and 3. 6 points for a touchdown, 1 for the extra point, 3 for a field goal. 613 laws of Moses. 6 days, then the 1 day of God, then 3 days. What happened to the next day? Well, that's Wednesday. And that's a crossover day. What happens is the two of these meet. And to meet, you can't go like this to join. It doesn't join like this. So it bends down like this. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna draw this and then draw this. Where you see where the Mayans say 52, right? So in order for that to meet, I got to drag that down and drag that down. and then it makes that X. Now they're connected at this point, at the joints, and at the tips at the ends. Okay, this point central is now used as a passage for the other elements. Okay, depending how you put these together, they can also look like television sets. If you look on the Mayan Sanskrit, you will find the same thing. It will have the exact same markings as I just showed you, 52. The other thing I wanted to look at is I was looking at the celestial water stones, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, okay? But can you see? Look, look, look. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Do you notice one only shows, I don't know if it's bent over on this one. I don't know if there's any more. And there's a number 3 here at the top. And there's a number over here I cannot read. This corner is LLL, okay, which is the 12th letter. Then they have this corner over here, okay, 1V, 1V. These are all combinations. These are L's, right? But this one is not an L. This is a V. This is a love corner. This is this is 333, 4. 3334. This is a telephone number. This is 9. This is birth. This is the reason. This is the 9 corner. This is where man ends up. He's either here, man, or here. He must be over here, man. See the A upside down, but this one over here is a spaceman. Over here he shows a bunny rabbit. You see the bunny rabbit? Rabbit ears, he's listening in on you. The angel, this is you on this side. You're being fed by the outside of the universe. Okay? Here's your corners you're in between. Here's the number for heaven. This is the 5-hole. This is divided 5-hole. This is divided 5-hole. If you divide that 5-hole, it ends up to be 25. Okay? Just like the 2 and 5 Mayan count. There's also a cut that comes along here. You see this line here? Okay? This and this is separate from this part over here. I don't know if you can see everything I'm showing you. Anyways, I'm not sure if you saw everything I was showing you, and I could have almost did what I did last time. So anyways, yeah, I showed you the 240, right? Now, if you break this down to 6 days, okay, and 3 days, 1 day of prayer, 6 days awake. How many hours are you awake a day? I'm always working on the number 16, okay? 6 days at 16 is 96. That is man's birth, okay? Man's face is his birth, okay? Because it comes out to 96. 3 days at 16 is 48. 48 and 96 is 144. The 144 midway angels between 1, 3, and 6. Creation of man. Angel creation face. 10 days. So this becomes 10 days. The hours of sleep would be 6 by 8 is 48. 3 by 8 is 24. Total of 72. The 7th gate of the second world. 72 plus the 24 of the prayer day equals 96, which is equivalent to man's birth once again. So it reflects both in the day, man's birth, and in the night, based on 16 hours and 8 hours on the 613 laws of Moses. We know everything. There are nursery rhymes out there that John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, J, 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 okay? And then it's the 4th number, J, 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 and then it's the 4th one, because it's never 4. If it's 4 altogether, it's because it's a combination of the total. Otherwise, if there's 4 together, okay, J, 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 which means 10, 10, 10 equals to 1,000. 1,000 what? A Schmidt. I got to count this. Why? Because the Schmidt, okay, is the part that connects the 3 of them together. It's the spirit, the one birth. J, 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 because the 19th letter is the one spirit of the 9 birth, is the 19th. SCH, M is Shema. Shmadi is to say, Shema, creation, heaven. The H letter, C and H, is 11. I mean, once an 11 comes in the world, you have 99. So the first 3 letters are 30, which means coming into the world. 43 with the M. The I is 52, 56, 66. It's the spirit of man right there on the first one. Anyways, I wanted to get into just one last thing that I was looking at here. I mean, I know I'm jumping around really good. The other thing is, what did I come up with now? Well, if God is omega, 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 and omega is the egg, and omega is omega alpha, and whatever you want to talk about, okay, in the year 5775, the fifth letter is an E. The seventh letter is a G. The seventh letter is a G. And the next fifth one is an E. It says egg. It says egg E. Because from the other side of the world, it'll say the E. From this side of the world, it'll say egg A. E-G-G-A. We're an EGA, and that's an EG, because they're talking about us. And when we talk about ourselves, we're an angel resident. We're an electronic angel to them. And we're an angel resident to us. E-R or A-R. We, an angel. A message that has been passed. The other thing we're going to get to now with 24 is we're going to go to how can we do 24 with two letters in the alphabet. A and W, which is A, the first letter, and W, the 23rd. Total, 1, 2, 3, 6, 24. Agua, water. The first letter, the 23rd letter. Total is 24, right? What this one is comprised of two letters, 2 and 3. 1, 2, and 3 together equals 6. 24 and 6 equals 30. Creation. All. Now we go to Ya. You see here I put it first, and here I put it second, because this is the 25th letter, and I minus the A. Ya. Yahweh. Yahweh. Almost like it's ready to say Yeshua Christ. Okay, because it all surrounds around him. Just the word Christ has a 77 two-island number count. The seventh gate and the seventh gate, or the seventh world, or the seven parts of both worlds, because there's two ways to look at the seventh gate. One is dead center is 1, okay, but you can only use these 3 and these 3 plus this one to travel. So what would happen is I'm just trying to, you see, you're going to leave out 2 of these. And if I did it on the other one, then I'm going to leave out the other 2 of these. Anyways, we're working on here. One of the surprises to me is Y and C. Yeshua Christ. Initials. Yeshua Christ. Why? Because the Y is the sometimes, just like sometimes once the Christ came, which is a split element of energy. It becomes the in-between 27th. Or not only the 27th after Z, but in between from one Rubik's Cube to the center of another Rubik's Cube is 27. That's the way it is, 27. Now you have over here Yeshua Christ, okay. 3, third letter, 21st letter, 24. Creation of you, and you. How do I know that? Because the angel is the W. This one here, it says angel is the double of the U. So we know right away this W, not only does it carry its own number, but it carries the numbers of the U. The sacrifice. O and I, omega and I. This one speaks for God alone, and this one speaks for God alone. 15 and 9 makes 24. X is the 24th letter. Hewitt-Packard. Hugh, Jew, Ard, rack, pack, rack them up. It's almost like saying, hey, rack them up. Why? Because this is the 8, and this is the spirit that will be connected. You see, this is 16th letter. It only connects to 6. Do you know why? Because it connects us to 3 here, and the 3 here, and the 1 here. Although it's a P, that's the way it works. Not me who made up the rules. So anyway, so we got to the values. Oh, my favorite one. The sound of this letter is ES. And together, they also make 24. This is out of all these, This one is used by the old Jewish ladies. Okay? This one, we always want to know what's under the engine, you know. But this one is the most popular because everybody wants more and says yes. So yeah, Yeshua, creation, you, Yeshua, Christ, yeah, yes, okay. But don't forget, if they say no, it means yes, so watch out. Do I have anything else? I always like these little things, these little pyramids here. Put these pyramids together. It's this. It's the Mercedes sign. It's Nike. It's basketball. It's whatever you want. Here's the world of 555. I divide our world up into a smaller world of 15 hours. It works on 555, 555, or 5555. The whole totality, this group and this group are two different groups. You see the position is not the same. Same for both of these. This makes a day. This tells you there's 32 hours in the day, and there's not. But the explanation is just because it's a totality, and the totality is because we're connected to somebody else. And like I said before, 8 hours for the night. But anyways, what happens now is these fives and these eights have a difference of 3, which I showed you before, which I wasn't sure if I told you the totality. So I put that inside the pyramid, and it creates the day in smaller time. Just the difference of the in-between creates the day. So what creates the year? Multiply it. 8 by 5 is 40. 40 times the birth is 9. 9 by 4 is 360, and that's how many degrees around the world before. Anyways, do you know what I always thought about these? Icebergs. Hiding under the icebergs. What else is there in here? The word Alaska. God of the sky, the anchor connected to our world. And let me tell you one thing, there's a lot of stuff in that Mayan Sanskrit. There's a lot of true stuff coming out in this world. I don't want it to happen, but I do want it to happen because of all these revelations, and I wouldn't be talking if I didn't think, and if I didn't know, and if I didn't learn inside the truth of the reality of what I speak. But all in all, at the end of time is coming to a close, a closing the part of time in which, in this part of this video, I just have to say it's one whole shebang of a hypothesis, and the whole long story of 55 minutes up to now. Raphael, 72, 86, and I believe.